Hi, welcome to the Christian Indie Writers Podcast, where we inform, encourage, and support Christian indie writers on their journey to publication. I'm Jamie Hirschberger. I write short fiction under the pen name J.R. Nichols.
I'm Jennifer Carl Tong, and I write historical Christian romance.
I'm Christina Katrine, and I write Christian dystopian fiction.
I'm Rhonda Hagerman, and I write fiction and nonfiction under the pen name Dee Dee Bowman with my mother.
Yes, and what a wonderful collaboration that is. Yes, indeed. Rhonda and her mother wrote a book. What is the name of the book, Rhonda?
Well, this is our second book right here.
Look at
This
that!
is our cozy mystery plot your novel with this workbook version.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yay.
So I've been using it during this nano season, and I'll be posting pictures pretty soon.
Is it live?
That's
Like, can
awesome.
people go buy it right now?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. How did we not know this? Am I the only one that didn't know this was happening? Because I've been
I
kind of
didn't
like,
know.
No, none of us knew.
Well,
Rhonda just does
Surprise.
not like any attention. So Rhonda just does great things, and then we have to discover it later. So I guess that's sort of Rhonda's what's up, right?
yes, that is my what's up.
Yeah. So
That
that
and-
workbook cover is really cute. It's blue. Hold it
Yep.
up again. Is that like a proof copy? Because yeah.
Yes, this is the proof copy. I haven't gotten my actual copies yet. Yep. So yeah, we're
Wow.
gonna stay in the blue family for the covers. But yeah, so that is my what's up. That's available for purchase now, along with our original one, just plot your novel with this workbook. And besides that, and finally getting all of my stuff put away almost from the move, I feel like I can move on with life now. I've got a little bit of freedom. I can actually do something that's not work related this weekend. I'm so excited.
Yay. Oh, what Rhonda DD bump? Yay. Oh, yeah, Gigi's just excited. There's another workbook for you to use,
Yep.
Gigi. Yes. And Shell says, yay, Rhonda, so cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Rhonda's been a busy little beaver behind the scenes. Maria says, congratulations, Rhonda, and Rhonda's mom, or mom, I should probably say.
Well, she
And
does like
just so you
British
know,
TV, so it's mum.
Yes, she would not. She would highly appreciate being called mom.
Yes.
I have to say I cannot see the chat at all this week, so like I'm blind to it. So when the stuff pops up in the window, that's the first I'm seeing of it. And if I don't say hello to you, it's just because I don't know you're there. But I would like to say hello to everybody listening and watching live. And I would also like to say hello to people who watch us later or tune in on Buzzsprout or wherever you find our podcast. We really appreciate you guys. But if you can make it to one of our YouTube live broadcasts at 10 o'clock Eastern, you get a wealth of wonderful information just in our chat. So hi to all our chatty chatters. I appreciate all of you and wish I could name you by name. Who do we have with us today, Jen?
well, I'm very excited because Sage is back.
Yay.
Hey, hello. I
Yay.
actually finished my work with time to spare today, so I get to stop by for a bit. We have missed you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
One of,
definitely.
one of our good friends here on the podcast, Jason, is here. He says hi, everyone.
Yay.
Lots of people. We'd love to know your what's ups as well. What's ups? What's ups? What's ups?
Well, let me answer Piper. Okay, my plans for Saturday are, well, it is still writing related, but Miss Christina Catane has got a book launch party that I'm sure she's going to tell us all about. And so that's going to
Tina,
take up my
what's up with
whole
you? Yeah.
Saturday.
Okay, well, I'm not going to talk about the book launch party till my what's next. But for what's up,
Okay.
I'm going to tell everybody that Jamie and I are at Rhonda's house, and we have been for a couple days having a nice little writer's retreat, just like an informal one. And I'd love to tell you all about it, but so
I
Says what
forgot
happens
about
stays-
that.
stays at home.
Jennifer actually bought that on our first retreat.
At a gas station, right?
Yeah.
On the way. So when you live in Michigan, maybe other states too, but Michigan for sure, like the gas stations along 75 north, and when you're heading north, and all the rest of it, or is it 23? Anyway, who cares? Like they all will sell like jerky and dried fish and like just random touristy things. And that was a touristy thing in a gas station. I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally, because that's what we called our writing retreats were camps. So that's hilarious. I forgot.
Mhm. That
Well,
was
I'm
funny
glad
to
you
me.
selected that and not the dried fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
never,
cold
ever
blood
like,
fish is pretty good though, and I'm not even a
Oh,
fish lover.
oh, well,
So.
salmon jerky is really yummy.
all right. Shell
Yeah, the
says her
food's
what's
been
up.
flowing. Yeah, go.
Sorry, there's a bit of a delay with Jamie, so we're going to try not to talk over you, Jamie. I'm sorry. Shell says her what's up. I finished reading Lost in the Land Lost in the Land and got my review up on Goodreads. Amazon wouldn't
Yay.
let me post it yet, but I'll get it up on Saturday. Also got my short story done editing. That's so nice, Shell.
And it
We
was a
really
very
appreciate it.
nice review, and I'd really like to thank everybody that's left me a review on Goodreads. And like I told Jason earlier, if you're my friend on Facebook, Amazon either might not let you leave a review, or they might take it down once they discover it.
I have not had that problem. I think a lot of it has to do with what link you let them use. We were talking about that. Maybe we should do a whole episode on
Mhm.
how to do that. But
Mhm.
you have to make sure you use a clean link. So, but
Well, I just
it's
discovered why I
possible.
haven't been able to find Moon Bunny live, because I am never up at 6 a.m. Eastern
I
Standard Time.
know. I tried
Um,
really hard, Sage. I really did.
I
And I'm a
didn't.
morning person. No, Rhonda, I didn't.
I mean, since I retired and I had to go to work at 5 in the morning, no, I don't do that anymore. But, um, if I see you live, I definitely will be there.
Speaking of live, Teresa Thomas says, hi, I'm here, but probably won't be chatting much because I'm trying to reclaim my kitchen while I listen. Teresa has been my standby. She has been my ride or die this week during the lives, and I really appreciate you, Teresa. So I'll do my what's up. So I've been moving, and the process has been very slow. And so we're at the stage now where like we have someone coming to pick up donate stuff, and we have like to clean the house. And so I mean we're pretty much at the end of it. But normally I think I probably would be not writing because there's so many distractions. But I had made this statement, well, I could do live sprints thinking no one's going to show up, right? Well, it's been great because Teresa shows up. There's a bunch of people that have been showing up. And then on top of that, like we're getting new people coming that we've never had in the chat before. So if you're interested, 8 a.m. through the week, I was wondering what you were clicking at. Moon Buddy Creative says, what's up? I launched my second poetry book digitally on November 1st. Yay! I've been streaming writing sprints at 6 a.m. every weekday for November for NaNoWriMo. I am now permanently exhausted, Pigeon. Yeah, I
bet.
get it. Maria says, a writer's retreat sounds so lovely. I know. It's a writer's goal to do one of those someday. Hubs and I were thinking of doing this in November for a couple of days, but then England went back into lockdown.
Aw.
Yeah, we're not in lockdown yet. So
I think it might be coming though.
Mhm.
I think it might be coming too. Oh, wait, I'm missing a ton of chat here. Lots of happening. Jason, my what's up? Finished reading Lost in the Land. Also going to be putting the reviews
Yay.
up later. Been working on my book a little, but mostly been doing homework.
Ooh.
So yeah, we get it. There's lots going on in everybody's life. So, oh,
Yeah.
Sage says, I feel bad that I never make your streams, Jen, but I have to get right to work. That's okay because I haven't made yours yet either. So I want to support you just the way you support us. So I must really try to be there. Plus I need the writing time.
Mhm.
So
I know it's
Sage,
so hard.
I was just going to say, Sage, if you don't mind, if you could just update us as like your situation in your country better, because I know at one point you didn't have water, you didn't have power. So just kind of let us know that you're doing better.
And speaking of the writing retreats, oh gosh, I'm really sorry, Jamie. Speaking of the writing retreats, I meant to mention this earlier when Maria mentioned it. It is a dream of ours for us to put on writing retreats. Like, so obviously not during COVID, but it's not an unthinkable thing. It's something that like down the road we are hoping to do. So your support of this podcast helps to further that and make that more possible by being here, by sharing us with other people, by buying our book, by reviewing our book, because that all of that helps to feed back into not our pockets. Everything from the book is 100% going right back into the podcast.
Yeah.
Before you go, Jamie, Piper says, my what's up got called back to work, so going to have to structure writing time better, which will probably be a good thing. One of my granddaughters has health issues, lots of doctor's visits. Oh, well, I'm glad you're back to work. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah, the stress of grandparenting is difficult too because you don't have them right there under your roof, and you're just always wondering, and You want the updates and stuff. So yeah, I get that. That's a stress. I'm glad to hear everybody is writing with NaNoWriMo. Sage says she's doing better. Thanks, Rhonda. Both water and power are restored for the most part, and the state of emergency has been extended, but they're easing a lot of the restrictions, so we're good. That's really good to hear. It's really hard to keep up with everybody, but that's why I'm so happy we have this Friday hour, because there's so many people who I would like to invest in, and I just don't have the time. I'm glad I make the time to hang out with you all on Friday at 10. So thank you all for being here. And my phone says it's dying even though it's plugged in. So I might randomly disappear and have to go sit next to Tina or something. So just so you know.
You should have just disappeared and then just kind of showed up in there, like squeezed in next to her.
There's a nice chair right here. We could just like cuddle.
Yes, Rhonda has very comfortable furniture, I have to say. And it has been just a wonderful time to visit up here with people I haven't seen in a while. And it's been really nice to be taken care of so well. So thank you to Rhonda and my other host this week, because there have been a couple. So thank you, everyone. Yes, Jen?
I did miss a what's up, and I want to make sure I hit it because we asked her to keep us updated, and I can't find it. But Maria had her book is out. Oh, Maria, I can't find it in the chat. I'm really sorry. Very excited. So, Maria, if here's this. If you sign up for the newsletter, you can get a sneaky free preview of Lottie's Locket ahead of publication. Link is also on my pinned tweet. That's amazing. Very, very excited for you, Maria.
I love
that title. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We should celebrate with her by having our first retreat in Great Britain. Yeah.
Oh. That's not a bad idea.
Well, that's a really good idea.
It's too early for me to think.
Good idea.
I think the first retreat will probably be Michigan, because that's more doable for us.
Although we'd love to go to England.
I have to say also that Rhonda's dog has had enough of me and wants to get out of here. So you might hear her crying. She's very sad right now at the door. Yeah. Poor Teddy. Maria says, yes, come to the UK. All righty.
Okay. On my way.
All righty. Maria's
you're on
got
lockdown
beds for
though.
us. She's got 4 beds. Oh, rats. Well, maybe someday. Someday we'll be too. Oh, you might have to wait for the travel restrictions to lift. Yeah. Although we have to stay for 2 weeks. We'd be 2-week quarantine.
Fine.
Oh, bummer.
Shell said she wants to go to UK so bad. I know, it would be so fun. I'll just tell you right now, though, I will not be organizing it. I will be showing up with my suitcase if it's in the UK. So someone else will do all the deets.
I'll have to hire a chef to take my place while I'm gone, because my husband's already super bummed that I haven't made him dinner the last 2 nights.
Did you find out about last night's dinner yet?
No, nobody's going to tell him either.
Oh, okay.
Because
she came here.
Remember.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, it's so funny. Maria
I made dinner here for these girls last night.
That's so funny.
Oh, she says we will go stay in a cottage, the Lake District or something. Yes, please.
Oh, that's so nice.
A charming little England in the country cottage. That sounds so nice.
What if we could find a place on Lake Michigan where we could all go and watch the sunsets and write?
I bet you could with like vacation rentals by owner or Airbnb. I bet you they have them. I know they do on Lake Michigan in Benton Harbor, because I had rented one for my cousins and I, and it had a private beach and everything. But then the restrictions happened and we couldn't go.
So all of this dreaming is obviously for the future, but be praying about that, ladies and gentlemen, because that is a dream of ours, is to extend this podcast into retreats as well. Affordable retreats. Like, it wouldn't be obviously free, but because you have to pay for things. But we also don't want, like, we see lots of like writing retreats and things. They're just so expensive that you gotta be careful, because the money that you put into your writing career has to give you something back, right? Like, you can't, like, you got to make sure, because you could really like bleed yourself dry financially with all these ideas that people have when you're starting out as an author. But I think a writing retreat can really, really help you. If people club together for a cottage, it's not too expensive. I agree. Same thing here. I kind of would like a hotel, you know, which nice beds and, you know, room service. That's my kind of retreat.
Yeah, I
but
planned out and you know, camps are really cost effective. I had, you know, daydreamed us a retreat that was going to be super affordable, but it would have required traveling to Florida and then all the lockdowns happened, but you don't get a hotel for the prices I was coming up with at a
Right.
camp, you know. So it's balancing, like, do you want a retreat and an escape and a rustic situation? Do you want to be bougie and fancy? That's why I'm happy to attend if the dates work for me, but if someone else wants to make those choices, that's awesome.
The other thing is that the cheaper the retreat and the more rustic the setting, the more work for the four of us. And not that we're not willing to put work in, but we want a retreat as well. So we had to find a balance there somewhere too. Like, because we could do a really cheap retreat with Tina cooking everything and me cleaning rooms when it's all done. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody. All right. No, what I'm saying is like we don't want that. Like we got to find somewhere in between. So Sage says, I mean, South Africa tourism is very affordable. Just saying, I would 100% do that too. 100%.
We
Wouldn't
have
that
a
be
special guest. Did you see that?
No.
Jennifer. It says,
Oh.
"Hi, Mom. This is Phoebe."
Hi, Phoebe.
Aww.
My baby. No, I did not see that special request. How cool would it be though, long term, if like we did, you know, retreats all over the place? That would be so great. So
It's a dream.
All right,
Maria's
well,
like me. She said that arrangement worked for me. Breakfast in bed. Okay.
All right.
so I suppose it's time we dive into the topic du jour, which is Purch the merch. And Jen, why don't you say why we wanted to cover this topic? I mean, obviously, Tina has some very prominent tools, demonstration tools, but we wanted to talk about this why.
So many authors, when you start talking marketing, like their skin starts to crawl. Like we just want to be able to go into like a little closet and write our book and put it out there and then start writing the next book, right? And that's just not possible. Like as independently published authors, you have to do some marketing. But the merchandise is kind of the fun part. Like the swag, that's kind of cool. Like that's like there's a difference between merch and swag, kind of. Like merchandise is things you're going to be selling. Swag is the stuff that you're going to be giving away. So we're going to talk a little bit about both of those. But it was timely for us because Tina has been getting stuff for her book launch. And we thought, well, gosh, you know, you've done all this footwork that you could share, because that way some people maybe don't know where to get bookmarks. They don't know where you did a lot of research. Tina is a researcher and she found inexpensive providers for things. And now you can give us reviews and tell us, well, was the banner quality good or like that? So that's how this all came up. So
Right. Yeah, I knew that I had this book launch coming up.
So Tina, what did you end up doing?
Well, I knew that I had the book launch coming up, so I did some research and I went into like self-publishing Formula Genius Facebook group that I'm a part of, and asked people like, what do you do for a book launch? So I got a lot of ideas for there. So I'm just going to show you some of the stuff that I got.
Can I ask a quick question? Did you get a lot of people saying that they didn't do anything?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's cool. All right.
And one of the questions that I asked was how many books that they usually brought with them. And so the numbers were lower than I thought. People that have had 10 books out and stuff and are really good at it and have a lot of followers still only bring like 25 to 30 books with them. So I thought that was interesting. So I went to Vistaprint for most of my stuff that I had printed. I got posters, which I should have gotten a picture of, but I don't have pictures of, for the bookstore window. And so tomorrow I'll try to get pictures of that and to show you the posters that I made. I also made on Vistaprint, which basically are very similar to my bookmarks. So these are one of the bookmarks I made. And basically I just uploaded the picture of my book and I put my blurb on there and I put a dark blue background. That's all I really did.
Is it double-sided?
No.
Okay.
I did put blue on the back, like it could be white. But it was quite a bit more to do both sides. So it just depends on how much you can spend. This one,
Where did you do the setup for that bookmark? Right on the Vistaprint site?
yeah, they had a template, and then you could either use their stuff or you could upload your own photos. So this one that I made, I'm going to try to. It has the name of my book, and then it has, and I used the graphic from my book cover and just made it smaller and
That's
put it on
beautiful,
there.
Tina.
And then I put my website, and all I did is put my book cover on there and move it around so that the eagle was centered. And so that's basically all I did for that one. And I really like how this one turned out.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
So
Piper says I had business cards printed with the code to my book funnel landing page so I could hand them out at a book signing. I had them done at Staples because of time. I wish I'd done bookmarks though.
awesome. Yeah, I have some business cards. So these are my business cards. And they have this is my what do you call it?
Banner. Your banner.
Yeah, it's my banner from my website, and it's kind of gonna. So I don't want to use my book as my branding, because that's the word I was looking for, branding.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to write multiple books. So this is a picture my dad took, and I looked on my hard drive. He took it in 1971. This
That's
picture
awesome.
in Alaska. So that's and so it has my website and my email and then my name on it. So that's one of the bookmarks that I had done.
Is that a totem pole there in the picture?
It is. Yeah, it's like on a bluff, and there's a totem pole in the sunset. So then I have these cards that I got made up. So they kind of mimic the bookmarks, but on the back, I have a little bar, that blank bar where I can put codes for people to download copies of the Audible book. And
that's awesome.
This card entitles you to one free Audible download of Lost in the Land of the Midnight Sun by Christina Catane. And so then I can write the code right in here, which I was hoping would be ready by my book launch party. But I did not realize that because of COVID, it's taking up to 30 days from the time that you submit your files for them to put them live.
Wow.
So, and I just did that today. She got it finished yesterday, and we submitted it today. So
wow.
It's probably going to be up to 30 days before that goes live. But I'm still going to figure out a way, because that's one of my giveaways that I wanted to give away at my book launch party. So I'm still going to have these, and maybe I'll just put like number 1, 2, 3, and then once it goes live, they can contact me and I'll give them their code.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So that's great. So you're not just doing bookmarks just for the purpose of just handing out bookmarks because you write books. They actually have like a secondary purpose as well. Some of these do. You can use them. Some people don't even do business cards. They just do bookmarks. But you can also put codes on it, like what you're doing or what Piper said she was doing. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And then, of course, I got my banner. It's over here. Things are backwards when you're looking at yourself on the screen. So I ask him. So I got that done at bannersonthecheap.com. And they start at $68 and change a piece. And by the time I paid shipping and handling and tax, it was $97, I think, which was cheaper than the base cost at Vistaprint.
Yeah, that is a really good price. That's one of those higher end things that maybe a person would choose not to do, but I think it looks awesome. And
I think it's 7 feet tall because I have a hard time reaching the top to take it down and put it up. And it's really good quality. I like how thick this material is. And I like how I was afraid when they blew it up that it was going to, the resolution of the picture of the book cover wouldn't be as good, but it really came out really nice. I really would recommend them.
Awesome.
So that's what I did. Oh, and then I have also the most important merchandise, especially if you're going to have like a book signing, you gotta have a book.
Yeah.
I have 36 of them.
And pens. This is what I meant to tell you too for a book sign. This is kind of off topic, but take multiple of the same pen, like whatever pen is your favorite. Like I always sign in purple. I don't know why, that's just what I do. And so I have multiple of the same color because there's so many horror stories out there of authors that go to book signings and either forgot a pen or they're in the middle of signing and their pen goes out and no one around them has a pen. Think about this day and age. No one writes checks anymore. No one, like, I used to always have pens and I probably don't have one in my purse right now. So
I bought a box of 25 of they're like rollerball, and they almost look like a fine Sharpie. Like I
Yeah.
actually signed this book, so you can see like kind of how dark it is.
Mhm.
So I have like 25 of those.
These are my favorite right here. Well, I like the Sharpie pens, the ones that don't bleed through. But this from Bic is the same thing, and like you can get them in multiple colors, and I love them. They sign very, very nice. So that's a little bit off topic, but
Is it okay if we have our chatters give us their links to their merchandise shops? I would love to see what they
I
have
don't think they
going
can
on.
do links in
Oh, they can do links. Maybe their shop, where the shop is and the shop name,
yeah,
maybe?
or tweet it to us later or message us so that we can look at it. That would be great. Yeah, because
You might be able to leave it in the comments on Facebook.
oh,
But
maybe.
you can't leave it in the chat on YouTube.
Yes, Sage says I live in the middle of nowhere and there aren't really in-person events for me to go to, so I don't have any of this stuff. I do have a Redbubble store for my art and my channel merch. We're going to talk about merch here in a second. Maria says that you just reminded me, I think I got free business cards and I could design when I signed up for my new website. Need to look into that. Difficult at this time. I'm going to be releasing a book in lockdown. Yeah, so there isn't much physical opportunity. Hoping to host a couple of virtual events. So I've never done an in-person event. My book launches are always virtual. But you can still have this merch that you can send out to people. People love that. And I've seen authors will do where people can purchase off their website. They can purchase a book, a signed book, and it will come with all the bookmarks and everything like that and things like that. So you could also offer that as well, even if you're not doing live in person. We want to move on to merch eventually, but Tina, what else you got for us? Was that about?
That's about it. Yeah, I ordered a cake, and the lady who's doing my cake is putting a picture of my book cover on the cake. So that's just one more thing.
That's exciting. Sage suggests you got to have an event bag, spare pens, bobby pins, elastic bands, paper clips, tissues, headache pills, etc. Extra plugs if you're doing electronic-y stuff. Yes, that's a really great suggestion.
Yeah.
Really, really great suggestion. All right, so I wanted to talk a minute on merchandise. So there's swag and there's merchandise. Swag is the stuff that you're going to give away to your fans, to your readers. And then there's merchandise, things that you can do that to promote yourself, but that people would purchase. So I just want to talk quickly on this, but there are many, many websites out there, but we had kind of hinted at several months ago that there might be merch coming soon, and it's coming soon. We here at the podcast, again, we want to continue this ministry. So along with that, we're going to be having some exclusive t-shirts, some more coffee mugs, and things like that that'll be available on our website very shortly. If that's something you're interested in, the website that I've started using is called Printful. There's all kinds of other websites, but I can't really give a review yet, but that is coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. I'm very, very excited about that. You can also have mugs and things done locally, right, Rhonda?
You're muted.
Let me unmute real quick. Okay. So in celebration of our podcast, I got these pretty much right in the beginning, I think, but just a simple mug with their logo on it. And the special people get like extra little pictures on them. But
yeah, real special pictures.
Show those.
You can't see it. There's a glare. Anyway,
I'll cover everybody else's but mine. This is how nice Rhonda is to her friends. That's the picture she chose.
Well, look at my picture.
You can show mine. I don't care.
You can show mine. Yeah.
Yeah, your guys' aren't bad. All right, I'm gonna show all four.
Yeah.
Rhonda, yours isn't even bad. Look how cute everyone looks. And then there's that.
Payback.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Anyway, the thing I liked about these mugs is I was able to buy them locally. So you can look for local print shops, local art shops, and it's called subliminal printing. How they did this, and it's not difficult at all if you like to shop locally, which I do. and support a local business. That's how I got those.
It's awesome. Hey, great suggestion here. Piper says, I've seen authors offer book plates that they sign so people can buy the book online and get the signatures are put in it. I've seen that before too. So has Moon Bunny. Book plates are fantastic. I've designed book plates for both my books so far. I just have no idea where my sticker paper is, so I haven't printed them yet. You
So
could probably
explain
get
to me
them.
what a book plate is.
It's a sticker that you would sign, and the person, when they get the book, they order it online, but then you send them the sticker and they can put the sticker in the book so that it's a signed copy of the book. You could probably get those as well at Vistaprint or like that. But like Sage was suggesting, you could buy sticker paper too and just do it. She said you just need to be careful using picks you might use for covers to make sure you have licensed property. That's a really good point. Maybe don't do any picks. Maybe just do like fonts or something. So
I happen to be in a position of having all these pictures from Alaska that my dad took. That I just consulted a lawyer who told me that because I have the pictures on a hard drive that I own them. So there's no copyright problems at all with them.
Plus, it's over 30 years too. So that's also the copyright window as well. So because I have old family pictures that we would like to make copies of, and found out that if they're over 30 years old, then the original photographer no longer holds the copyright. So,
oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. Piper says, but my daughter's on the cover, and a friend of hers took the book cover and had to put it on the throw pillow for her for Christmas. Oh, that's awesome.
That is a great idea.
Most of my pictures I've taken or I've paid to have taken myself so that I can do whatever I want with them. So, yeah, that's awesome. All right, great. Anyone else have anything to add about this? I think ultimately talking with other writers in this chat and in community to find out what has worked for them. Tina's used Vistaprint. I've used Vistaprint before. They are fair. The price, I think, is fair. And because they have been around for long enough that you know what you're going to get. Like they're not, you know that they have good customer service. That banner of Tina's is amazing. So now we know about that company. So ultimately the best thing to do is to talk to your community like Tina did and find out suggestions from other authors that have already done things like this and try the companies out that they tried. So,
now, one thing I wanted to add about Vistaprint is when I was doing this bookmark, I could not figure out how to put the blue background in. And they have designers that are available, like in a live chat. And so I just clicked the little thing, and there was a little bit of a fee for her to help me, but it was less than $5, and she helped me get this exactly how I wanted it. That's so awesome. That was really cool. So if you're not tech savvy and you don't know what you're doing, I think you can even hire their designers to do it for you.
Piper says, and Tina, you did your own covers. If you pay someone to do a cover, they may have lines to shirt. Yes. So if you pay someone else to do your cover, you may not be able to just take like Tina did and just use the cover for your bookmarks. But I think that the loophole is if you use the entire cover. So like if she'd made it look like a book and put on the bookmark, then you'd be fine because you're allowed to use your book, but you can't do like Tina did and just take parts of the cover. That would probably break your life. So you have to talk with your book designer. We've done our own book covers, so we don't have to worry about that. So, all right, great. All hearts clear before we move on to our favorite part of the episode, the feeding of the bats. This is our part where we, as you guys know, every week before we start, we send out a prompt for the world to see. And we hope you guys are sprinting with us, especially during Nano. And we sprint as well. We do not start this. We don't do this before now. We do it right before we go live, and we share it, our raw, unedited pieces. And that's what you get from us here on this podcast are the raw, unedited pieces, and mine is super raw today. So because Jamie's always picking on me, I'm going to pick on her and let her go first. Jamie, can you share the prompt with us and then read your sprint?
Yes. I'm going to assume everyone can hear me just fine.
Yes.
Great. Today's prompt is in quotes. A road trip was just the thing for me and my friends. And here is my take on that prompt. A road trip was just the thing for me and my friends, the story began. Kathy sighed and let the novel fall to her lap. Nothing seemed to hold her interest anymore. Not even the latest installment of Molly Miggleston, Girl Detective. What's the matter, Angel? Her dad asked, catching her eye in the rear view. Kathy sighed again and looked up at the white brick facade of the House of Hair, a kitschy little salon in the heart of town name. Her mother insisted on patronizing, even though Kathy had looked up several times online how to do the highlights her mother always spent hours acquiring from the pseudo-Germans inside the House of Hair. You want bubble tea? Her father asked now. Kathy squirmed in her seat and shook her head. She intentionally did not look up, could not meet the eyes in the rearview mirror as she knew they would appear, worry lines around them glistening with concern. I don't want anything, she wanted to scream. I want to be left alone. But how could she make him understand? He was trying to be kind after all. It was a warm day and bubble tea was one of her favorite treats. But this was a dark day, and Daddy didn't understand the dark days. Daddy, I'm fine, she said, in the practiced way she had learned to get the concerned eyes to look at something else. It worked, and Daddy's eyes flicked back down, likely to the phone he kept in his lap. Well, that's good. Dr. Cartwright tells me things have been better. What else did Dr. Cartwright tell you? The words were out before she could stop them. She spotted her mistake right away when she saw the momentary lightning flash in those shining eyes. I'm sorry, she added, almost immediately. But it wasn't soon enough. The lecture began. Dr. Cartwright is only trying to help. As her father droned on about appreciation and obligation, Kathy opened her book and stared at the pages. This was a trick she learned when she was quite young. First, she stared at a capital letter S on the page and tried to remember the last time she'd seen a snake. At the zoo, not impressive. Then she set to rearranging all the letters in the word Miggleston into other words altogether. Is Eagle a word? She wondered. As she'd hoped, her father's impotent railing faded away and he eventually stopped. He's finally gotten a text from her to distract him, she thought bitterly, and closed her book again, her eyes returning to the white brick facade, her mind an absolute blank. And that's that.
I want more. Like, I already want to know the story behind the story. I want to know what's going on with this girl. Like, so who's this person he's getting a text from? Like, this is so good. So well done.
And why
Jamie.
is this doctor in their lives? And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I love
thank
her
you.
thought process.
Yes. I do not know where that came from, but yeah.
Love it. Yeah,
She's
really
brilliant.
good.
Thank you. Who shall I pick on to be next? Tina? What about Tina? Hello up there, Tina.
Hello down there.
Would
How's
you
the
like
weather
to,
down there in the south?
Actually, it is cold. My feet are like a toilet. They're frozen like porcelain. Oh,
I'm
Shell liked
sorry.
it. Yay, thank you. And Moon Buddy said that was great. I really appreciate all the kind words. Sorry about the lag, making me sound like a psycho talking over everybody. But now Bambina is going to have her little turn, right?
Yep, and there's might be some Easter eggs in this one.
Ooh.
So, a road trip was just a thing for me and my friends, the thing to really get us into trouble. There was something about climbing into that SUV that changed us from responsible women, mothers, wives, and grandmothers to little girls in the pre-adolescent stage of development. The key in the ignition didn't just start the engine, it also triggered the giggling. Just what we were giggling about was as elusive as what happened to the stern mom, who only 30 minutes prior was admonishing the teenagers she was leaving behind, that just because mom wasn't around didn't mean mom didn't expect chores to be done and schoolwork completed. For a fleeting moment, I wondered what those boys got up to when I was gone, but I decided to save myself a few grays and not think about it. As the tall pines and brightly colored autumn leaves flashed by the window, laughter and stories flowed from our lips, and all memory of responsibility disappeared. Look, there's a Jimmy John's, one of the ladies excitedly announced. Let's go, somebody else chimed in, and soon we were all piling out of the vehicle and headed into the small dining room. The other patrons probably thought us loud and obnoxious, but we were oblivious to their existence. We only had 3 days and 2 nights of this abandon, and we intended to take full advantage of it.
Yep.
When Jen ordered her sandwich naked, we all began to giggle and then laugh. Soon I couldn't breathe. I felt my knees giving way, but I couldn't stop from laughing until eventually I woke up on the floor, looking up into the faces of my friends. They all stared down at me with concerned looks right until they realized I was looking back at them, and then the laughter started all over again. I wasn't sure what was so funny about me being on the floor of Jimmy John's, but the laughter was contagious, so I laughed too. Some of the customers followed suit, except for one little old lady with a lavender coat and pursed lips. I doubted she'd ever taken a road trip with her friends.
So good.
Yay.
Aw,
I'm not
love that
sure I
last
actually
line. That
ordered
was
it
good.
naked.
I remember going through the drive-thru and you ordering your sandwich naked.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you use that word, but that's what
It
it's
was
called when you don't have a bun.
on which at Jimmy
It's
John's.
probably
Yeah.
But
undressed or something. Yeah.
maybe that's hilarious. That like
But
so
I
funny.
needed the word naked to be in my story, so that's
Yeah. All right. So fun, Tina Shell says. Yep, that's
I
awesome.
love it.
So well put, because everything you're writing is what's going on in our heads, like
Mhm.
for sure. And when I remember the Jimmy John stop, and we for sure were, making fools of ourselves as usual. That was awesome. All right, great. I will go next because I guess I can. So here we go.
I know
So
we're
I want to.
all being really weird about talking over each other. So sorry, everybody, but it's like,
So in my sprint, I started sprinting and got a couple sentences in, and then I realized it's nano. I'm supposed to be writing in my story. Now we don't have to,
oh
but that's the
yeah.
help, right? Like we want the sprint, but this sprint did not work for my book at all. So I was like,
Oh.
ugh. So I made it work. I used my characters. I probably will not use this at all, but so so this is my characters that I'm using in this book. If you recall, a few weeks back, I did a sprint with it was a billionaire, and he like in his head was gonna like take her to Vegas or whatever. So okay, so this is kind of where we are. Road trip. Yeah, she said. Road trip, pack a cooler, grab a paper map from the gas station and go. Ryan could feel his temples begin to throb. Do they even make paper maps anymore? She thought for a moment. I'm not sure. If not, I'm sure I can find one on eBay. Ooh, wouldn't it be so cool if I could find one from the 1950s? Ryan didn't waste his breath explaining that to her the foolhardiness of navigating a cross-country trip using a map that was outdated. Half the roads would be either closed or replaced by interstate freeways. I'm not going on a road trip. Why not? Because I haven't the time. It isn't logical. If I need to be somewhere, I hop a plane, I conduct whatever business I need to conduct, and then fly back, all before the end of the workday. But this isn't a work trip, Richie Rich. It's Las Vegas, and was your idea, remember? My idea was to take you to Vegas, not my idea to take a month off of work to get there. How long do you plan to take off? Ryan shrugged. I thought we would leave Friday evening after work, fly back Sunday morning. Her mouth slowly fell open as her brow knitted over her green eyes. Less than 48 hours? You can pretty much see everything you need to see in 24, Ryan said. You have to understand, I'm very busy right now. Marjorie slowly closed her mouth and took a deep breath. She nodded. I understand. No, thank you. She took off her coat and began hanging it in the closet. Wait, what? Ryan asked. No, thank you, she repeated as she plopped herself on the sofa and reached for the book she had left on the coffee table. Ryan remained at the door, hands on his hips. What did I just miss? What do you mean, no thank you? She shrugged. I don't want to go. Ryan felt the back of his neck grow warm as he stormed into the living room. You can stop this passive-aggressive temper tantrum right now. I'm not falling for it. What are you so hot about? If you're so busy, aren't you relieved that you don't have to take time out of your busy schedule to take me to Nevada? Do you know what I canceled? Do you know how much maneuvering and moving around it took to get these days free? 3, 2, 1.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah. That's it. Like, it's so not a full story, but
Even if you don't put that in your book, which it sounds like you're not going to, it's nice to see your characters doing extracurricular things like that.
right.
Yes, agree. I
If I can
absolutely agree.
If I can fit it, great. If not, it's going to go into a different book because I just really like the idea.
Mm.
I don't
Mhm.
I've never been to Vegas, but I just like the idea of like him trying to show her something that she's never seen before
Mhm.
and it like backfiring on him.
You can definitely
Yeah,
see the
because-
two different personalities.
How typical to have that attitude, like, well, I sacrificed these 2 days for you. And
Mhm,
she's like, well, if it's such a sacrifice, then forget it.
Mhm.
mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate
'cause when
that a lot.
when I write it, it's going to be more like it's more about his attitude about it, not so much the fact that he can't take the time out. I'll figure it out. So Piper. Thank you, Piper. Appreciate that.
Mm,
All right, great. So Rhonda, you're the last one.
okay. I don't understand what happened, but I got 365 words. So
Wow.
Yay!
I
That's some
think
kind of record.
it's like doubles my record. Okay. A road trip was just the thing for me and my friends. I was in desperate need of a vacation from my real life, and I knew just who I wanted to ride along with me. I had a seat in the car for each of my needs. I mean, for my closest friends. Next to me in the passenger seat was my oldest and dearest friend, Julie. I've known her since since I was 3 and she was 4. There was a time in my 20s when I wondered if Julie was so close to me because our mothers were best friends. But after some experimentation, that being her first year of college, hundreds of miles from my home, I realized that I truly loved Julie for our own friendship, not because of our mother's influence. In the 30 years since that freshman year, I've come to appreciate her in a mature way. Julie's spiritual gift is exhortation, and that is what earns her the shotgun seat on this road trip. Behind me will ride Lucy. Lucy almost won shotgun because of her radio genius. She always makes a road trip fun, but I needed her with me in this weekend to sympathize with me. I know that sounds totally selfish, but I made a major life decision last night, and she's the only close friend who made it through to the end of a marriage like mine. She knows how to keep me from dwelling on the bad, and she knows when I need her to tell me one of her stupid, what's black and white and red all over jokes, versus when I just need her to come up next to me and give me a hug. She might get to ride shotgun on the way home. My fourth precious passenger is Michelle. She is the most precious little China doll like woman. Her features are petite and perfect, and her fingers are long,
That's
straight, and
me.
beautiful, unlike mine or her grandma's. Michelle intuitively knows when I'm hurting and needs a break. She will force me to relax with my heating pad when the other ladies want to just hit one last antique store. That's it. Far as I got.
Yay!
Wow.
This is so indicative of your writing that this is like a party weekend, and like the over partying is doing too many antique stores.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just have to say,
Yeah.
where Rhonda nails it is like these moments that happen. Like yesterday, Tina said something at dinner, and like neither Rhonda nor I knew what to say, and Rhonda just said, "My this pork is tender," and kept right on eating, and I just started losing it because that is exactly what Rhonda nails in her books. You know what I mean? Those
Yes.
relationships and those moments where you're just like, whoa, what? You know? So it was totally awesome to have a real life Rhonda scene last night.
That was fun.
Tina, you're muted. Piper says, "What a great detailing of Friends." Agreed.
It is not a
Thank
show
you.
without Tina trying to talk while she's muted.
Yeah, I should just not mute myself because I always forget.
Yeah.
Well, what were you trying to say?
Oh, I'm just saying I wish I could remember what it was I said.
Oh,
Oh.
probably glad. I'm probably glad that you can't, because we don't want you saying it probably live, I'm guessing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yes, such deep relationships in such a short scene. Always. That's always
Yeah.
her writing.
Yep, that's what
Thank
she
you,
does.
everybody.
All right,
Right.
we still got to hear from Bambina, right?
No, I read
Nope.
mine.
Oh, duh. Okay, well then, like, do we have more to talk about? Yes. What's next?
Oh yeah, we have to do our what's next.
Yes.
You go ahead,
Jen,
Jamie.
take it away. Yeah,
Oh.
because like me with the lag is really hard. Jen, do you mind?
I don't mind, but let's have you go first so we don't have to worry about talking over you.
Awesome. So what's next for me is to try to figure out how to tell people where to hear my audiobook, because I did do an audio recording of And the Mom Ran Away with the Moon, which is free right now. The short story And the Mom Ran Away with the Moon is free if you join the Writing Shorts newsletter, which is my author newsletter, but I treat it more like one of those fun little flyers you would find at your local family diner, and it just has like a little puzzle in there. I always have a little short something for you to read. It's supposed to be a little break from your week. So you open up the Writing Shorts newsletter and you just go on a little vacation in your head. So go sign up for that. You'll get a free short story right away and a free download of the ebook And the Mom Ran Away with the Moon. But I have the audio done and it's for
Yay.
sale, but it's not available yet on Amazon because like it takes them a long time to get it up there. So it's just kind of weird because I'm not someone who's been wide before. So even knowing like Like, where do I want people to put a review? Do I ask them? Do you know what I'm saying? So I have to figure out how I'm going to talk about that, because I just don't even know the first clue of go to Kobo and get my book, because I'm so used to just sending everybody to Amazon. You know what I mean?
Right. That is something I struggle with too, like with reviews. Like I really like Amazon is where I sell the most, but I sell other places. And so like I would love reviews everywhere, but somebody who's reviewed your book is not going to go to every single place and review it, right? So you
Right.
have to kind of I kind of just let it happen organically. I kind of encourage Goodreads and um Amazon, but BookBub is out there floating too, and Barnes and Noble and Kobo. So you just kind of let it. If people choose those to buy your book, then hopefully they'll choose it to review it too.
I've been telling people to leave the review where they buy their books.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a Nook and you buy your books from Barnes and Noble, leave your reviews there. And my family and friends, I've been telling to go to Goodreads because I don't want them to run into any problems with that. So
yeah, the funny thing is
go ahead, Jamie.
The thing is that I have to wait until my book is available on Amazon.com to be able to just handily tell people, go leave your review on Amazon.com. So that's kind of what I'm saying is I've got to wait. I have a waiting period here to wait around. So it's really a bummer. So anybody who's thinking they want to do audio, it takes longer than you would think to get it distributed to all of the platforms. So like, don't get everybody all jazzed about their freebie if you want them to leave a review until and unless you know where to send them after, right? Like, I'm just saying it's like, learn from my thing so y'all don't do that thing, right? Like, you may not immediately be able to hand out your giveaway codes. You may not immediately be able to ask for the review because stuff just takes a long time sometimes out of your control.
They said 30 days is the average. That's what they told me this morning.
And you know,
I'm
Jamie,
glad I didn't plan some kind of big launch or something to announce, go get my audiobook on Amazon, because then I would be sunk. So I'm just very happy that I'm just under the radar learning with this first one. You know what I mean?
right. You know, Jamie, too, like Story Origin, you can do book reviews on there so that like people like, they click on where they're going to do the review and then the links are set up in there. They'll do the same thing for audiobooks too. If you go on Story Origin,
yeah.
so that might help you out.
You do have to get the $100 a year membership to share audio with people, but you can actually send them the audio trailer of your audiobook if you pay the $100 a year instead of just like the basic one. It's
on
a very
Story
long story,
Origin.
I don't know. We'll have to have a whole episode about it back when I know
Yeah.
better what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because the whole audiobook thing is like a whole nother animal, right?
Right. Moon Bunny Creative says, what's next? I have 11 streams before this time next week. I'm
beta-ing.
Okay, a book I'm super excited about, and I'm up to my eyeballs in video and podcast editing. Pray for me.
Wow.
We will for sure be praying for you.
Wow.
Shell says, what's next? Forgot to mention earlier, I finally picked a pen name for my author persona. Now I have more reading to do this month. Planning to make a blog post for review for Tina's book. Awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Jason, what's next? Catch up for Nano. Get more words on my paper. I'm behind for my goals. So am I. So I'll go next. We knew I would be behind because I was starting a little bit behind and I have so much going on, but I'm not as behind as I thought because I've been doing those streams. Those streams really have helped me. I am probably halfway to where I should be right now, which is still not great, but it's not as bad as not having started yet. So I know I can catch up. Monday will be my first day that I think I'm just like, I'm only 100% about writing. I don't have to worry about the move anymore. I mean, I'll still be unpacking and doing things, but not like under, the gun. So that's my what's next, is to get through this weekend so that I can say on the other house, and then I am 100% here now. So
yay.
Yeah. What about you, Rhonda?
Well, I recently just dug myself out of the same chaos that you're in right now. And I've got such a backlog of words ready to just spill out of me right now. As soon as we're done with the podcast, I'm locking away from all of you guys and I'm writing. Jamie,
Awesome.
Yay! You're not going to go to the estate sale? Rhonda, you're not going to that estate sale you were promising me earlier?
Oh.
Forgot about
Change
it.
of plans.
I shouldn't.
I'll write
I
as soon as I get back home.
Yeah, I knew it.
Okay.
I
But
want to
there's
go to an
also, there's
estate
another
sale.
change of plans because reading the chat, first of all, the first thing I would do is pray for Moon Bunny because how could I turn that down? And
I
second of
know,
all, I
right?
love Shell's idea for making the blog post for Tina's book review. That is a great
Me
idea. I'm going to do that as
too.
well. I
It's
love that.
so artfully written also. Like if you read her review, you would want to read her book because she
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
shows
That's
her
what I was
writing.
thinking.
And this
Yeah.
is like that whole thing we talk about being organic, and then you make this organic matter and then you spread it around. You wrote a book review, put it on your blog. Like, why would you not make your website better with some like why not? It's like it's gonna take you 3 minutes and now you have a website with more content on it, which is important with websites, right, Rhonda?
Yep.
Yeah, so like this tiny little 3-minute action you're doing, if you do that 3-minute action over and over, before you know it, your website is full of content. It's
Mm-hmm.
not hard. Spread that manure, that organic
Yep.
matter. Awesome.
I'm not sure how I feel about the reviews of my book being called manure, but
Yeah.
I know. Sorry about that. It's just I have a very scientific way of looking at it. It's just matter that's been processed and turned into something else. That's all.
Piper says, "Now what's next? Scheduling, writing, and actually doing it. Plus working. Daughter starts
Oh,
new work
yeah.
Monday, so new schedule at home."
Ooh, that's always rocky to figure out how the writing is going to fit in when everything changes. It's like you can't find your
Mhm.
stapler, right, Rhonda?
Yep. Exactly.
So moving is not just a new physical place. It's like a new normal, a new
Mm-hmm.
routine. And you guys both know that that's, like a big thing to go through in November and also try to write a book.
Right.
So anything
What you
anybody has done, good for you.
what you can't see over here is all kinds of boxes and stuff stacked, but like this is my own office. I've not had my own office.
That's
And it's
awesome.
a little closet of an office, but it's mine. And I
Mm-hmm.
can't tell you the difference that makes mentally coming in here to be creative. It is just so, so good.
I'm so
Teresa
happy for you,
said,
and your sound is real good too.
"Oh, good. Awesome." Teresa says, "What's next? Keep on keeping on. I can feel myself losing steam, so I need to make sure that doesn't happen. Going to try to rest this weekend with the intent on regaining focus."
Yep. Just work through it. Work through it.
Moonbuddy says, "Death, divorce, and moving, the most three traumatic
Aw.
experiences in life." And I've gone through 2 of them in the past year.
Yeah.
So, and it's
Mhm.
drug out. It's been a very long, long process.
Yeah, and
So
Jen, the hits just keep on coming for you. I mean, your Novembers have been crazy for a few years
I
now.
know. I
So
know.
we appreciate
But
you carving out time to come be with us.
oh, Boho Bookworm, aloha friends. Hey,
Oh,
Aloha.
aloha. She has been showing up for some of the sprints too. So a new friend of ours. All right, who hasn't gone yet? I lost track already.
I
Tina. All right, Tina,
I
save the
just
best for
wanted to
last.
mention that if you open up the email that I sent this morning before the podcast, that there is a link in there to go to Jamie's website and sign up for all that fun stuff she was talking about in her
yeah.
website. So
Yes,
that's in
Tina
there.
has made. Yes, she has enhanced our newsletter. So you guys who are part of our mailing list should click on that and check it out, because if you need inspiration to make your newsletter better, like Tina has been serious about investing the time to do it. So you see if you can spot the differences that Tina has made, because they are significant. Good job, Tina.
Okay, thank you. So what my what's next is I'm having my book launch party tomorrow
Yay!
at Beloved Books in Linden, Michigan from 12 to 4. I have some giveaways. I have a 2021 Christian planner from christianplanner.com that I'm giving away to somebody who buys a paperback. I forgot to mention that last time, that you have to buy the paperback version to get the planner. And I'm also going to give away some promo codes for the Audible version of my book. I have to figure out how to do that since the Audible version is not available for 30 days. And there's going to be cake and coffee. And what else? Oh, we're having a virtual portion from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you go to Christina Catay's Facebook page, there's an event in there. And if you click on that you're going to the event, then you won't miss the virtual live event that we're going to have online.
Because they'll send you a notification.
Right. And Jamie is going to interview me, and it's going to be lots of fun.
Jamie's so great
Yes,
for
and
that.
hopefully we will not have lag issues or whatever. But I know that our audience will forgive us. They are so nice to us. They stuck through lives where the sound was horrible and all four of us were sitting around that. Remember at that restaurant, we tried so hard.
Are you going to be able to do
well,
it?
though?
Are we going to simultaneously do it with on your page as well as on this page so that everyone can see?
I don't know how to do that, but I could try to figure it out.
I gotcha. I can. Well, we'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
Afterwards.
All right. So, are we finished then? Is that finished this episode?
I believe it is.
Looks like
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we can't wait to see what you can accomplish in this next week. But until next week, may your pen be prolific, may your deadlines be met, and may all of your words honor Christ. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.